Yeah, we're live.
In this episode, we're gonna give you tips on how you can dress better and present yourself better as a Filipino professional in the workplace and in business. Why?
Because people are judgmental, they will judge you, so you have to stick around, watch this episode so you can get some tips.
Welcome to Illustrado GO Live, people. Good afternoon, everybody, and hello to all of you guys out there. Hello to the judgmental people out there also.
Welcome to our channel.
Welcome to our channel, and thank you for sticking around. We were having some difficulties earlier. I'm Lalaine Chu-Benitez, Editor-in-Chief here at Illustrado Magazine.
And also joining you, I'm Alwee, Villarosa. I'm the Features Editor of Illustrado Magazine.
Of course, Illustrado is your Filipino lifestyle platform here in the Gulf, and we've been championing the world-class Filipino for the last 13 years. So today is another one of those episodes.
Another one of those episodes, and we're here at the Royal Club in the Radisson Blu Hotel, Dubai there.
Our home in Dubai.
Yeah, our home in Dubai.
And of course, we would like to thank our very kind sponsors for helping us with our Illustrado GO Live time and time again.
Yeah.
If you've just tuned in and this is your first time, please do follow us if you haven't followed us yet. And you know, just click that see it first button so you're going to get updated in all our live streams and whatever material we put out there, Alwee. But before we do anything else and before we talk about our meaty discussion today, which is going to add value to a lot of you folks out there, we have a competition, Alwee.
Yes, we're running a competition, and this one's really good. So you just need to answer the question, which cuisine does Yum restaurant serve? And for this, you just need to answer and tag Radisson Blu DXB to win a tailor-made 3-course meal for 4 persons.
Wow, that's great.
And I was just actually telling about my friend about, I was just talking to my friend about Yum last week. And I was like, this is my favorite restaurant here in Radisson Blu. So that's a giveaway. What's my favorite food? It's in Yum.
Really?
So, yeah.
Okay, that says a lot about you.
Yeah.
All right, anyway, just going back to the discussion, what are we talking about today? We are talking about packaging the Filipino, how to present ourselves for global success. But I think before we go and really dissect that topic, Alwee, maybe we can talk about what packaging is. Ano ba yung packaging?
I think packaging...
Is it a box or...
Packaging is the entire presentation of a product. And
Yes.
I'm also like, I'm also guilty of this. Like if I go to a grocery and I see like a nice packaging, like even if I haven't really tried or like haven't really read the reviews about a specific product, and it's like, that's cute, I'm gonna buy it.
Packaging nails it, right? Packaging is how we present ourselves out there, how we dress, how we communicate, how we project our personality and our own personal brand out there into the world. Why is it very important? Like Alwee was saying earlier, people are judgmental.
We are all guilty of this. We're not judging you, but we kind of are also. No, but we are all guilty of this. We all judge something or someone in a way.
I think it's human nature.
And it's not a
basically.
personal, it's not really personal attack. Again, it's kind of like a human nature.
It's human nature, and the thing is, you know, because people judge and they do that automatically, the kind of opportunities that you will get out there and how you get treated out there depends on how you present yourself, right? In an ideal world, you know, people should accept us for our hearts. and how good we are as people.
Yeah, but this is not an ideal.
This is not an ideal world. In the real world, people are judgmental, and it was so interesting because I saw one research, Alwee, and this is something to note. You guys out there who don't believe that dressing up matters, especially at work and in business, there are a lot of research, you can check it out on the internet, that your career path actually gets affected and how people see you gets affected by the way you dress. In the US, they made research, okay? And they found out that women who wear makeup, okay, earn more than women who don't wear makeup.
Okay.
Now Miss Ronnie understands why I'm telling her to wear lipstick all the time, but that is a fact, right? Men who dress well earn better than men who don't dress well. These are all facts. So for us, Filipinos who have a lot, of challenges out there, it's only fair that we present ourselves to the best of our abilities, right? Why should we not, make our chances better out there? But first, let's talk about Filipino misconceptions, right? Because there's so many things that, when people talk about dressing up, some people will say, "Uy, kasosyalan lang yan."
Well, I think that's a very Filipino thing. It's kind of related to smart shaming. Like when you go out there and your friends see you, "Oh, saan ang lakad?" Or
saan ang lakad, yeah.
Saan ang binyag?
Yeah.
And if you kind of dress up, not your usual kind of exerted an effort in how you look that day, you might be like, "Oh, saan ka pupunta? Ano meron?"
In fact, so we asked some of our friends on what they think, if dressing matters, especially in the context of the Filipino. And we've got some respondents here, and they have some very interesting things to say. Look, like for example, Jinggay Dinsay, our friend there in Korea. Hi, Jinggay, if you're watching right now. She said, "Puro kasosyalan lang. I cringe when I hear this, but this is normally what Filipinos think if we so much talk about good fashion sense. But the truth is, dressing well, not necessarily expensively, but dressing with dignity and being put together already gets one foot inside the door." It's not about kasosyalan, guys, really. Right? You have another one, right, Alwee?
And of course, and this is from our very dear Kapitana. She says, "When I was working in Pinas, I always would make myself presentable, especially since I work for a prestigious bank. My coworkers would ask me why I'm always well-dressed, saying, 'Bakit kung magbihis ka, parang palagi kang aaten ng kasalan at binyagan?'"
Diba? So, I mean,
she continues to say, "I felt offended at first, but I will stick to what I know is proper." It's really how you want to be seen.
You don't need an excuse to dress up well, guys. I know that back home, if there are people there in the Philippines. Hi, guys. If you're listening right now, of course, the weather back home is a little bit more humid. So you have to be very practical in the way you dress. But, if you're going to a professional environment, especially when you're going to work, please do dress up. It's not about going to a kasalan or a binyagan, right? Then there's a Valentino Montuerto, Jasmin. You were talking about
a very judgmental person. Hi, friend.
Talking about the judgmental person. Hello, Valentino, if you're listening right now.
I think he's in Qatar right now, and he says, "I dress up every day because I love it. Kasi I'm often mistaken as Korean or any other Asian national. The funniest part is, even sa immigration sa Pinas, they think I'm not Pinoy kahit hawak ko na ang passport ko."
Yeah, that's the thing there. I mean, I used to get that a lot also. Even as you pass through immigration, they can't believe that you're Filipino because you're dressed well, which is not a good thing. I mean, although a lot of Filipinos are getting it and they're really dressing up the part, they look very professional, hindi pa rin sanay yung mga tao na nakakikita ng masyadong maraming Pinoy na who are well-dressed, right? And my Tagalog is really mangled. I'm sorry about that, guys. But, we have to make it a norm that Filipinos are always dressed well. So that's a challenge that we pose to you guys.
Because why not? Why would we not want that?
Definitely. And it's even more interesting to dress up well.
And it doesn't need to be expensive.
Exactly.
Right?
Another friend of ours, Raagas, who is a designer in Abu Dhabi, she says, "I think most Filipinos have not yet adopted the idea that how you dress up to meet someone says so much about the level of respect you have for them. Yes, it's not only about your self-respect, it's about how you respect other people." And she continues on saying, "Yung iba pupunta ng meeting or event, di man lang mag-effort." right? Not a good thing, guys. I mean, we can definitely address this, and hopefully we can share some tips with you guys so that you can up your style game, so that you get more opportunities out there.
Yes.
And yeah, we have asked our friends from different places and from different sectors on what they think about dressing up. Is it important in career? Is it important in business? And if they have any personal insights to share. So listen to Usapang Illustrado.
Hello everybody, my name is Jory Alvan, the Director and Head of Communications for Gulf countries at Sanofi. Personal style alone will not give you a fulfilling career, but it is an essential and effective tool to communicate how you view yourself and how you would want others to regard you as a professional. How you dress or carry yourself speaks volumes about your values at work and even your professional aspirations. Have you ever noticed how great leaders always have this commanding presence or gravitas that is so hard to miss? At some point in my career, I decided to take a leadership path. I became self-aware and assessed how I would want to position and package myself as a leader in the corporate world, and a woman at that. I decided my personal values would shape my personal style so that I could stay authentic to myself and really have fun while I evolve into a better person. Once you've decided what your personal style would be, make a deliberate effort to continue to improve and carry yourself with the right amount of confidence and humility. And make sure to complement your personal style with real, bankable skills and content. After all, personal style is just a facade. Your values, your skills, and your character are what will truly define you as a person and sustain your success.
Hello, my name is Keith Walter and I am an HR officer at Amar Group, the corporate team. Personal styling, yes. When I was asked about the topic personal styling, it does make a complete difference at the workplace. We are being respected and treated based on how we look. And inevitably, we are being remembered based on how we presented ourselves at the workplace, at an interview, at any presentation, give or take. And as an HR, one of our many indicator of applicants or individuals is how you presented yourselves. Are you the guy with a good shirt or a good tie, or the girl with a nice hairstyle, the good lipstick, and all that, and all those things? We are being respected and treated accordingly based on how we presented ourselves. And remember that those who presented themselves very well are those who are always been given the opportunity for all the exposure. And exposure means experience. And if you have a lot of exposure and a lot of experiences, then you are all the more the first hand or first line options for any promotions. So as an HR, we are always looking at people who presented themselves very well, because for sure you can present whatever that you are asked to do with something else, because we know that for a fact that you can handle yourselves very well.
Hi, my name is Edwin. I'm the Managing Director of the company called Play Middle East Business Consultancy. I'm here today to talk about the topic, if the personal style is it really important in succeeding in one's career. Of course, definitely I agree, and ang ating personal style, it's our unique identification where nobody can copy it. They can try probably copying it, but they cannot duplicate it, because it is your style, it's your identifications or identity. And to use this style effectively, my recommendation is to follow the 1/3 rule, to grab the opportunity. In what way? The 1/3 rule is 1/3 probably will love you, 1/3 will hate you, 1/3 is just passive. They don't care about you at all. So eliminate the 2/3 and focus on that 1/3. Focus on that 1/3 in what way? By creating relationship, building relationship, listen to them, be with them, spend time with them, learn from them, then definitely yung time mo, it will be more productive and not wasted at all. And use it effectively para ma-achieve mo kung ano yung dream or goals when it comes to career, personal man o business-wise or probably community-wise. I hope it helps and maraming po salamat.
Hi, I'm Christian Romulo Vasquez. I'm an architect and a business development executive. So, why personal style is important? Well, it gives you confidence, it makes you memorable, and it forms your first impression. Simply because your image speaks first before you manage to open your mouth. And personal style send out a non-verbal messages that states that you are reliable, you are honest, you are successful, or simply smart. Now, I use my personal style as my business card. I remember when I attended the Top Architects and Interior Design networking event, I intentionally wore a pink suit, and it was a hit. While everybody's wearing the usual black and navy blue business suit, I stand out from the crowd. I gain a lot of network, business lead, and project leads. Now, as an architect, we are professionals serving other professionals, and we design and with respect to function and aesthetic. So, how can I get a client if I'm not that impressive or presentable? So when I first came here in Dubai 13 years ago, I managed to maintain wearing suit in the office while everybody, mostly of my colleagues, are wearing jeans and shirt. So whenever my CEO needs someone to accompany him in the business meeting, I'm the first guy in the list. Now, then later on, I already meeting clients and then presenting the projects and representing the company. But keep this in mind: you dress well not just because you want to impress someone. You dress well because you respect the people you meet. You dress well because you respect the people around you. And that's my take.
You'll go straight. And yeah, welcome once again if you just joined us. Before we proceed to dissect the matter at hand, Alwee, please do the honors of greeting our friends out there.
Yeah, we would like to say hi and thank you for joining us to Maria Aranda, Rebecca Adrian, Ayon Gonzaga, Marlon Malinaw from Kuwait,
Hey guys, hi.
Dea Paredes is watching, Chris Daimon, Marites Manzano, Cheryl Agbing, El Shami, Jonah, Ben Lebig, Jasmin Tasma. Oh my, I'm so proud of myself.
Very slight mistakes there. You didn't mangle anybody's name. Alan Bautista from LBC is also watching. Hi, Alan. And yeah, sharing a comment from our friend Josie Delphine of the Radisson Blue Dubai Dairy Creek. Absolutely agree. My 3-inch heels are my superpower. Yay! Yeah. Also, power dressing is not a myth. One must always dress the part to get the part, right? And yes, before we talk about our Usapang Illustrado, do you want to announce the competition again,
Yeah,
Alwee?
if you just tuned in, we're running a competition. It's a very simple one. All you need to do is answer and tag Radisson Blue. And our question is, which cuisine does Yum Restaurant serve? So for all of you guys out there, you can win a tailor-made 3-course meal for 4 persons at the Radisson Blue Hotel here in Dubai Dairy Creek. Definitely
a lot of yums there. Yum, yum. And yes, going back to dressing well, we had our friends, we had Christian Vasquez, Edwin Duria, Keith Walter Ayuso, who's an HR professional with IMAR, and of course, Jorge Alban, who is the communications head at Sanofi. And there were a lot of good points out there, and basically what they're saying is that dressing up shows that you respect yourself. It's all about self-respect. There was a great example there from Christian Vasquez, who said that he went to a networking meeting wearing a pink suit and he got noticed, right? Now, Probably not everybody can afford to wear a pink suit because not everybody will look nice in a pink
Yeah.
suit. But kudos to Christian Vasquez there for going out there and becoming more memorable. And of course, Edwin Duria was using the way he dresses up and the way he presents himself to people as a very important tool when he goes out networking there.
Because you need to make an impression, a good one.
A good impression, a very strong first impression. And again, going back to what Keith Walter Ayuso was saying, that in their company, it's the people who are well-dressed who are given exposure opportunities.
Yeah.
Right? Because how can your company put you out there? How can you represent your company if you're not even well-dressed, right?
I mean, like, your boss will not tell, like, oh, go out there because you're kind and you're always smiling.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, even no matter how intelligent you are and how good you are at what you do, if you cannot represent the company well as a full package, that becomes very difficult. So guys, we encourage you. And if you guys are listening out there and if you have any opinion on this issue and if you have any tips on how Filipinos can dress better to make their chances better in the workplace and in business and in life, yes, please do, drop it in our comment section and participate in the discussion, right?
Yeah, because we have another viewer who has a message for us. She says, I agree, there is what we call psychology of dressing. So she says, dress the message. The clothes you wear and the way you present yourself will change the way other people hear what you say.
Exactly right. And we'll go and share other opinions from our friends, our Illustrado friends. First of all, Nina Peñalosa Carpio, who's a big fashion influencer out there. She says that she started as a secretary, but she has always dressed well, even from before. And she's an HR head at Jollibee right now. And she said that power dressing was always something that was important to her, even when she was starting in her career, because her parents always taught her about the excellence, mentality, or being oriented towards excellence. And dressing up well is part of having that excellence orientation. We have another person there.
We have another one, Elijah Tavidad Kagiwa, Eli, right?
Yeah,
I met him in JVR last week.
The
He was
fierce
walking
Eli.
there. Yeah. Even in the dance community, you need to get your look together. You can't expect clients to respect you if you look homeless. Sure, you should let your skills do the talking, but wearing flip-flops to a meeting?
I like
No.
that. Homeless.
Yeah.
Looking like homeless. But it's true. Grungy and hipsterish look. It's quite the rage right now, but I think even if you look hipster and grungy, you still have to look fabulous, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's a certain way.
There's a certain way of doing it.
There's a fine line.
There's a fine line, right? But it always has to be fabulous, guys. Joel Villanueva used to be a designer in Abu Dhabi, has this to share. He quoted Tom Ford and he said, dressing impeccably is a form of good manners, which is very correct. And he says that as a person who is working in the fashion industry, he encourages all you Filipinos out there to please patronize Filipino brands and Filipino labels, of course. Let's support the Filipino designers and, those who are providing us clothes and, the entire industry. Let's help each other, right? And then there's Ronald Awa. He's got a long entry here, but let me just pick out some of the important things that he said. He says that for him in his job, and he works for a very prestigious company, he works for Emirates Airlines, he learned earlier on in his career that he has to dress professionally. So for him, being able to buy suits and decent trousers and, what have you to wear in the office is very important. But he underlines the fact that it doesn't have to be an Italian brand. It doesn't have to be an American or British brand. It's really how you carry yourself, right?
And I also like that he pointed out that hygiene is also part of dressing up.
That's true.
I mean, like, you cannot just look all fab and like smell bad, right?
Exactly. You
That's
have.
kind of gross.
It's a full package. And if you're going for that grungy look, the beard thing and all that, still it has to look fabulous and well groomed.
And smell good.
And smell good. You had to repeat that again, right? We have this lady who's an Illustrado friend. She's always watching our shows. Serendipity, she calls herself. If you're watching right now, hi there.
Oh, it's serendipity. Eh?
Yeah, it is
Oh, okay.
serendipity, yes. Serendipity kasi cute.
Okay,
Right?
cool.
What did she say, Alwee?
She says it's our personal duty to represent ourselves the best way possible. because it encourages respect from others and inspires others to fix themselves too.
True, true. And then Doc Jello Santos, who is a very well-known travel blogger and an author, he says, power dressing doesn't need to be expensive, but at least pleasing. Indubitably, in this diverse part of the globe, it matters most who you know, what you know, and perhaps what you wear. And this is something that folks who are especially new here, you know, coming from the Philippines, where I guess we have a more casual, you know, sensibility when it comes to clothing. When you come out here, you have to dress for Dubai. You have to dress for the international market. You have to dress more professionally because it's totally different.
And it's not just in Dubai, no. I think
Anywhere,
it's
yeah.
like the key to dressing up is knowing where you're going. If you're going for a meeting, if you're going to a party, if you're going to a formal event,
Yes.
you know, like know the theme of like the event that you're going to, and then it's your guide on
That's
how
for
to
sure.
really present yourself.
We're going to be talking a lot more about that, dressing appropriately for the occasion. And yeah, we'll share another quote here from Main Tamondong. Dressing the part does something to your psyche. Oh, definitely. When you're wearing nice clothes and you have a nice perfume
It's
on. and
it's
you
a
look so-
confidence booster.
It's a confidence booster, right? And of course, Angel Villar de Jesus, the fabulous Angel, who is also a designer in Dubai, says that we deal with classy clients who know fashion well, so it's apt for us designers to be fashionably presentable. Our businesses rely on our status no matter what we say. It would be difficult to convince clients if we are just a blur in front of them. Yes, of course. In the fashion industry, which is even more specific to this, you have to dress not just presentably, but fashionably.
Yeah.
Right? Because Angel is right. Why would people believe you if you yourself are not fashionable?
And this is not just in fashion. If you're talking about like a big business deal, you cannot come in a meeting with a shirt and jeans.
Exactly, definitely.
Right?
So there are a lot of points out there, right? And yes, going back to our other you know, submissions here, we'll now talk about something that's very important to all our fans out there. Alwee, before we continue on talking about dressing the part, let's show you a very, very interesting and powerful video now.
Okay, I am ready for this.
Cue video. That was Illustrado 300 most influential
300.
Filipinos of the Gulf. We're sweating just thinking about 300 stories that we have to share with you guys.
And very excited to share more good stuff.
So just to give you a backgrounder, if you haven't heard about Illustrado, most influential Filipinos in the Gulf yet, we've been doing this for the last 5 years, and we have been honoring Filipinos who have not only broken the glass ceiling, but changed the game for a lot of us out here, and who are representing the Filipinos, you know, out there in not only in the market, but in the region in a very elevated way. Elevate is our keyword for this, Alwee, right?
And this is not an award.
It's not an award.
It's not an award. We are recognizing the most talented, the most
the best and the
successful,
brightest.
the best and the brightest Filipinos in the
Right.
region, not just in the UAE but in the entire Gulf.
That's true. So we make it a point to say that this is not an award, it is not a competition. We do share the stories of these people that we would like to honor. So if you know of anybody who is worthy to be part of this issue, this is our legacy issue. It's our 5th year. That's why, people are asking us why 300 this time, because we've done 5 years of this and we wanted to put together an issue, a legacy edition that's going to be kept for years and years and years. We're trying to mark a part of the Filipino history here in the Gulf. So if you know anybody who's worthy to be included, we will share the link on how you can nominate people, and we'll take it from there, right?
Yeah, and if you also want to do a back read on what we've done in the past years for the most influential Filipinos in the Gulf, just visit www.illustradolife.com for more information.
And the keyword is elevate, guys. Please remember this. We're looking for Filipinos who have elevated the rest of us here in the region. And now we'll have some greetings, Alwee, right? Ingrid Auriada from Niche Modeling
another
Agency.
fab girl. Millet Swan.
Bubbly Miles.
Bubbly
Hi.
Miles is watching.
Hello, Bubbly
Kathleen
Miles.
Villa from Mozambique is watching also. Wow, we have someone from Mozambique.
Mozambique.
And,
Hello,
maybe we're
Mozambique.
gonna read her comment also in a bit. Robert Prado is watching. Hannah Cortez Garcia is watching. Eli is also watching. Hi.
Hey, Eli.
Nice to meet you. Gio Romana is watching, and Nina Peñalosa is also watching. She said, dressing well is a form of good manners.
Oh, definitely. And yes, Agnes Briggs, all the way from her waist, is watching. Agnes Briggs, who is a certified style and image consultant, was supposed to be our guest today, but unfortunately, because of the rains, she couldn't join us because it's a 3-hour drive. But, we're going to share her key hacks, her key tips on how to look good all the time. So before we get to that, we have some tips from one of our favorite fans out there, Gweys.
Yeah, one of
Gweys
our
Soriano.
favorite fashion personalities here in the city.
And let's hear it from Gweys.
I'm going to give you some simple tips and tricks on how to look a little bit more stylish and add a little more confidence in your office wear. So wearing a jacket or oversized blazers is one of my favorites, but how do you actually wear it, or how do you actually style it? So with oversized blazers, I like to scrunch up the sleeves to show a little of my arms and my beautiful watch, for example, or some jewelries. Another style that I do is I add the belt to the oversized jacket to cinch in the waist. And my favorite is to add more shoulder pads to add more power. Tip number 2, don't play it too safe. So instead of always wearing your plain shirt, try to swap it with some prints or add some colors to make you pop a little bit. Tip number 3, keep a lint roller in your drawer or in your office locker. Because no matter how stylish or no matter how expensive your clothes are, if you have some pet hair or some dandruff, you will never look presentable. Now, if you can't find this, or if you don't have this, for sure you have these scotch tapes or masking tapes in your office. So you can replace it with this one, and you can just remove all those dandruffs, all those pet hairs all over your clothes. Tip number 4, now choosing for your shoes. I suggest that you choose pointed shoes over round toes, because for me, I think it's more comfortable than I ever thought. And number 2, it makes everything I wear look more chic and sophisticated. Tip number 5, accessorize but keep it simple, because simple is classy and elegant. And you want your clients and your coworkers to focus on your work and not on your accessories. And one of my favorite accessories that I believe every woman should have are pearls, because it makes the wearer seem sophisticated and it always complements your outfit and not overpower. Try to look around you and find a group of people or a group of friends or even in your workplace and notice that people dress the same. So what I'm going to share with you are some styling hacks or styling tips to level up your fashion game. Tip number 1, the first step in dressing for success is finding a good tailor. Remember that a great suit doesn't look great if it doesn't fit. So for example, the shoulder pads should end with your shoulders. With your arms on your side, your knuckles should be even with the bottom of your jacket. And there's so many things to consider. In short, a suit should be custom fit, because it's undeniable truth that every man looks best in suits. Guys, tip number 2. When you're not wearing a jacket, roll those sleeves. Because one of the sexiest body part of a man is his forearm. And when you roll those sleeves, you're actually making your arm look a little bit more muscular. But you can only do that when you rock and roll it the proper way. Gentlemen, tip number 3. There is no better accessory that a man can wear than an extraordinary watch. You know, when I see a man wearing a watch, no matter what the brand is, the first thing that comes into my mind is that he is responsible and reliable. Because a nice watch is very handsome and it's an object to be noticed. Also, when you wear a watch, it's a potential part of your personal branding. Because whether you like it or not, people judge you by the way you dress. And wearing a watch can help you in situations like interviews. You'll never know you'll land that dream job or that promotion. And eventually you can buy your first or your next Rolex or Audemars Piguet. Tip number 4. Tuck your dress shirt in. I know it's a common problem because you tuck it in, you stand up, you've lifted your arms, move around and tada! Your shirt is intact again. So I suggest that you buy this thing called shirt stays. It's an elastic that you attach to the end of your shirt, connect it to your socks or even to your legs. So this will help you keep your shirt tucked in the entire day. Tip number 5, your belt was bought to match a pair of shoes. So don't forget to polish your belts as you polish your shoes. So just in case you forgot or you don't have or you run out of shoe polisher, you can also use petroleum gel or olive oil.
Okay, that's a lot of tips, Alwee, but before we get there,
before we
commenting on
get
that.
there, I'm going to read some comments from our fans today. Here's one from Leslie Fiestan.
Hey, Les. All
She
the way
says,
from Riyadh, yeah.
The way you dress shows how you want to be treated as well. People respect and take you seriously by the way you dress and handle yourself.
Definitely, definitely.
And then I also wanted to read the comment from Kathleen Villa from watching from Mozambique. She says, very true, no need to be branded clothes. It is how you carry it.
It's not about the brands, it's how you carry it, definitely. And you know, just going back to what Gweys was saying, paano ba yan, Alwee? Bagsak na ako sa sinabi ni Gweys because of my accessories. She says simple accessories and sensible shoes. But I am sensible, but my shoes are not. What can I do?
Can I just be a sensible person?
Can I just be a sensible person? No, but I think you also have to dress appropriately, and this is the next thing that we're going to be talking about. You have to dress according to what kind of sector or field you belong to, what kind of job you do, what kind of occasion you are dressing for, right?
Yeah.
So it's totally different across the board. And we've got some, you know, comments from our friends. For example, Ion Gonzaga, he's saying, some of us still need to embrace that presentation matters and we should have our own default wear for every occasion or theme there is. Casual, corporate, black tie, smart casual. For me personally, what I put on elevates how I want to connect to people. And as I was saying to Ion has already perfected the smart casual look. He always has a nice blazer and a statement tee and nice trousers and very relaxed shoes. And that's a good look because of the industry that he belongs in, right?
Smart casual is not you being smart and dressing casual, okay?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I'm smart and this is casual.
There's
Smart
nothing
casual.
about casual. There's nothing smart about dressing up like you're going to Boracay when you're going to a work function
Exactly.
or somewhere, an event here in Dubai, right? Another friend of ours, Socorro Pasco, says, it's always better to dress up than to dress down. Dressing also conveys how you want others to view you. It's always a personal choice, but dress accordingly to the event and to the occasion.
And another one from Amy Miranda, she says, dressing up depends on the event you are attending. Wear formal dresses or business suits if needed. Otherwise, dresses and shirts that are comfortable and you're happy to wear are absolutely fine.
Yeah, then there's Jules Casabal, who's working for the farm at San Benito, our favorite farm at San Benito. She's saying that, you know, she's a project manager who deals with contractors every single day because they're doing some projects out there and she's always on the site. It will be ridiculous to wear a suit, of course, right? So you have to dress the part. But if you're, you know, going to something corporate, you have to dress corporate. Josephine Cuthbert says, it depends on what field we are working in. I wear with pride my chef's jacket for our monthly meetings, and we're respected on how we carry ourselves. I only dress to impress if there is a dress code. That's what she said. And, you know, in fact, even for us, our business is a little bit tricky because in publishing and sometimes when we do these fashion events and attend these fashion, you know, projects, we have to be more fashion forward.
Yeah.
But on the agency side, when we have to deal with the more creative side of the business, it's a little bit more casual. So it's smart casual. And, you know, one of my experiences having our startup, like when we did an exhibit before for Jitex and in Hong Kong, you have to be a little bit more dressed down because you're dealing with young people. So I don't want to look like everybody's mom or everybody's tita.
But you were still wearing your heels, like walking around Hong Kong, right?
What can I do? You know, heels are stuck to my feet, so I have to wear those heels. And anyway, speaking about style, let's play a very interesting video. If you guys have missed Fashion Forward, we did have our fabulous Filipino designers there, so we'd like you to see this clip. And yeah, that was Fashion Forward last October 2019. Congratulations once again to our fabulous designers who had such amazing creations on their runway. Ezra Santos, Michael Cinco, Ryan Pacholes, and of course Fern One. And thank you very much to Beethoven Filomeno for those
Hi,
wonderful
Betong.
photos.
Thank you so much.
Not to forget, congratulations, Bong Guerrero, another wonderful, you know, showing of Fashion Forward 2019. We can't get enough of Fashion Forward, right? I think you have
and
some
I have some more
greet,
greetings. Jaire Maika is watching, Regina Marauta, Leslie Fiestan from KSA, Shai Macias, Shai Macias, Albert Benko Tranquilino.
Wow, challenging, Alwee, huh?
It's very challenging.
Tranquilino.
And Mac Baptiste is also watching.
Junie Sorsano.
Junie Sorsano and JM Bishk.
Bishk.
And
Hi
Val
there, guys.
Montuerto, who is in a conference call
The
apparently, is
judgmental
also
Val
watching.
Montuerto. Hello, guys. Once again, thank you for joining us. I think you have a comment there to share, right?
Yeah, I wanted to read this comment from Regina Marauta. She says, I suggest that chinelas be limited in the house or at the beach.
Exactly. I think, yeah, we had a comment there before, right, Alwee? You said no chinelas in the malls.
Yeah. No, I mean, like,
course.
what I mean about chinelas, the flip-flops, diba? Like, but you can wear maybe, like, a mule or a slip-on or...
It doesn't take
Something like
much,
that,
guys.
yeah.
And in fact, you know, we Filipinos, we love t-shirts so much. I was having this chat with Ian Gonzaga because he said he used to go to work and, you know, pretty much anywhere with t-shirt and jeans, thinking that that's the Mark Zuckerberg look.
Yeah.
You know, and I was telling him, I said to him that the t-shirt look only looks good on supermodels and billionaires. So remember that. So unless you're a supermodel or a billionaire, don't just go for the t-shirt look. There are a lot of other things that you can wear, more fabulous, would give you more opportunities out there to be memorable, right? Okay, what else do we have? Right, and yes, now we're going to be sharing some of the other tips that our friends have shared with us. First of all, Daniel Francisco, he says that there's more to presenting yourself than just dressing up. Dressing is only part of the packaging. What your body language says about you, the way you communicate, the way you listen and ask in an event helps uplift the overall package. Definitely.
And also there's another one from Philip Vasquez. He says it's not only the way we dress up, but how knowledgeable we are on global events. Good conversation uplifts the Filipino brand in terms of global
Oh,
understanding.
definitely, because no matter how well dressed you are, if you have nothing to say, and if there's nothing up there, you can't mask that with clothes,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
So substance matters, right? So if you're not very knowledgeable, always brush up, you know, read, find out what's going on out there.
It needs to be a complete package.
Exactly. So communicate properly also. And yes, now we're going to share with you the 12 tips on how to look good all the time. And because Agnes Briggs cannot join us, we're just going to go through those 12 tips.
Yeah.
And this is like a recap of everything that we've been talking about in almost an hour now. The first tip that Agnes has is...
The first step is build or start your wardrobe with neutrals.
Yeah, if you don't have a big wardrobe, of course, start with the classics, right?
Yeah.
Neutrals, you can mix and match them. It's always very easy. The second thing is be bold and unafraid of colors.
Yeah, I'm very colorful today. I'm very bright.
Thank goodness you have some color because I'm all in black. This is the easier thing. But you know, if you can do it, always wear some dash of color. It doesn't hurt, right? And know what brand suits your body and your personality, right? You will know out there that there are certain brands that cater to a certain fit that looks good on you, right?
Yeah.
So if the slim fit doesn't look good on you, find a shop, find a brand that, you know, you can wear well, and stick to those brands and make sure that you know, you find what fits right.
Definitely.
Right?
Another one is expensive brands don't make up for good taste.
Definitely.
You know, I mean, you can be like, you don't want to look like a walking anagram, right?
Definitely, yeah. With all the brands, from the hat to the
Yeah.
shirt to the everything, you know, it's not about the brands. It's how you put things together, and it doesn't. You don't need to spend a lot of money to look amazing.
Yeah, exactly.
In fact, Alwee, I personally am interested in thrifting because I think people who can go thrifting and at the same time put together amazing looks.
I do that.
I really love that. You know, I totally respect that, right? What's next?
The next one is number 5, accessorize. Invest in bold jewelry and good shoes.
Definitely. So it always adds that
Is
extra.
it
yeah.
really part of our tips, or did you add this here?
No,
Is
that's that's Agnes's tip. Yes, definitely accessorize. It always adds something, you know, extra to whatever outfit you have, even if it's just a basic outfit. Dress appropriately, which we have been talking
Yeah.
about earlier. Just another point here, Agnes was saying dress appropriately also. For example, if you're asking for a raise in the office, you're dressed decently, but don't go flashing, you know, designer brands.
Because you're asking for a raise.
You're asking for a raise and you're flashing your designer brand. So why would anybody give you a raise, right? Another thing,
Is to be aware of your body language.
now we're talking about being the entire package again. Be aware of your body language when you shake hands. Always make sure that it's a good handshake. Hindi yung, you know, a very limp handshake and all that. It should be a nice, strong and solid handshake. And, you know, the way you act, the way you project yourself, always be confident.
Another one is to wear makeup strategically.
Wear makeup
Wear
strategically.
those highlights, like find your light. Maybe.
Find your light. It always gives you a more well-presented look. It makes you look very well put together. So don't forget, ladies, lipstick.
Don't
when you
overdo it.
When you go out the door, but don't overdo it. Don't put too much. just enough is perfect, right? And then substance matters, like we've been talking about earlier. Brush up on a lot of things, find out what's happening in the world, in your sector, keep on learning so that you have something to talk about with people. You know, it's not just about how you look, it's about what you can contribute to the discussion also.
And also, number 10, accept and face the true facts about yourself.
Ouch. Accept the truth about yourself. Why? Because if you know where your flaws are, then you can dress properly for them. Yeah, right? Not only in dressing up, but in what are your flaws, or what are your weaknesses, what are your challenge in terms of presenting yourself, right? So know what you're good at, know what you're not so good at, and then accentuate the positive and address whatever is lacking, right?
And number
your
11,
favorite
this is very
This is your
important.
favorite
Have
one.
a signature scent.
So what's your signature scent then?
No, for me, I have 2 scents. I have one
Okay.
for the summer, and I have one for the colder season. So like,
Yeah.
I like the scent of vetiver, like a bit darker but still citrusy scent in the colder season, and then like maybe a bergamot in the summer.
And you can go on for hours just talking
Yeah.
about scent. It's very important. Always smell good. And again, it's not about how much money you spend. It's about picking that signature smell that, you know, feels right with you. And then the last one is be consistent and build a brand. Take the opportunity. You have social media. Use it properly. You know, don't post anything on social media that will kill your career.
Yeah,
Or
like
your
it's
personal
your own
branding.
personal brand. So you have to take care of it. And your image, beware of what you do, how you do it, your image.
And there's no such thing as private anymore in reality. In you know, in this time and age where everything is out there, social media is so active, there's no such thing as private anymore. So consider your social media, whatever platform it is, consider it as your branding platform. So put all the best stuff out there, guys. Use it to your advantage. And thank you very much to Agnes Briggs for sharing those 12 tips with us. And now we're going to take a break and look at the creative works of our very talented Filipino photographers. This is Illustrado Scrapbook. And that was the work of Jorod Kaduduan, Red Punzalan, and Roland Batakan, all from the UAE, and Ino Florencio, all the way from Kuwait. Guys, if you have photographs to share, just slide a message in our private message or our inbox, and we hope that we can include you in our Illustrado scrapbook and lineup of other artists that we feature here on Illustrado. Alwee?
And yeah, we're moving on to Illustrado, It's What I Do, where we talk about Filipino professionals who are doing great in their jobs.
Yes,
Yeah.
and talking about a Filipino who's doing an amazing job out there in the workplace is Joanne Rico, who is the head of marketing and sales for the entire Bahrain cluster of NMC Healthcare. NMC Healthcare is a huge company. It's the largest private healthcare company in the UAE. And the Bahrain cluster has 1 tertiary hospital as the main hub and 7 medical centers. And she's in charge for marketing, for all these, all these Bahrain subsidiaries, right? One of the important things about Joanne is that she was able to help facilitate the swift turnaround of the Bahrain brand in less than a year. So this is a major feat that she was able to do, with the company, and she did that starting as a one-woman show in the marketing department. So kudos to you, Joanne. We're
Doing everything while in her heels.
While in her heels, definitely. See what women do, right? So she's done a lot for Bahrain. We're going to be sharing the stories of our Filipino, professionals in our, It's What I Do portion in our website, and we're going to be sharing our links with you later on. Joanne has a message for Filipinos out there. She says, life is not perfect and it's never easy. That's why I urge all Filipinos, whether in our home country or overseas, to champion life with grit and resilience. So, there are a lot of challenges out there. Be strong, be consistent, and be resilient. No matter how small or how big, our challenges are, we have to, push on, right? Alwee, you have?
And another professional that we have here in the UAE is Rizal Makaspak. She is the marketing and communications manager at the Customer Experience Group here in Dubai.
She's in charge of global marketing and communications. Again, a very, what would I say, excellence-oriented Filipina who's, carving out space for all of us out there in the workplace, right?
Thinking that she is serving her team spread out in 14 offices worldwide.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so she's doing, she's overseeing development and implementation of long-term plans for the CXG and its agencies. The entire company covers Asia Pacific, Europe, North America, Middle East, and Africa.
Basically the whole globe, right? And she says that earlier this year, she has been appointed as a member of the executive committee. And yeah, let's share part of her message to Filipinos out there in the around the globe.
She says, we need personal connections not only to succeed in our workplace, but also for support, friendship, or just plain happiness. Maya Angelou once said, I've learned that people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel.
So keep doing good things, guys. And that was it for our show today. But before we go, we'll just have a couple of reminders. First of all, the competition with Yum Restaurant.
Yeah.
Don't forget.
Guys, it's still open. You can still join. We are running a competition. You can win a tailor-made 3-course meal for 4 persons here at the Radisson Blu Hotel, Dubai Dairy Creek. All you need to do is answer, which cuisine does Yum Restaurant serve?
And guys, don't forget to follow Illustrado and just click the See It First button so that you're updated on our live streams and all our videos and content out there. Thank you very much for joining us today. We hope that you got a lot. If you have a lot of tips to share out there, just put it in the comments section, because a lot of Filipinos are going to be benefiting from this discussion. We're going to be putting out an article on these tips that we have gathered today so that everybody can benefit out of it. Any final words on this, Alwee?
Just go out there, dress nicely, be presentable, and be a good person.
And smell good.
And smell good.
Keep on going, guys. And this was Illustrado Go Live.